So we're back, another episode of From the Bench. I'm your host, Corey Holmes, and we're here today with none other than Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah.
Right? So on From the Bench, right, we basically just talk the journey, right? And, you know, for someone like yourself, not too much of your story is relatable, only if we start at the beginning, right? I mean, at one point you were Michael Malden's son, right? Like you had a point in time where you had to figure out your direction. You had to really kind of come up with a vision of what it was that you wanted to do. So, you know, I feel like there's a lot of motivation in hearing people's stories like yourself, right? So I want to start at the beginning, when you were dancing, right? Like I heard that you danced with Diana Ross. Was that true?
Yeah, well, that was one of the concerts that I went to when I was, I think like 11, like 10 or 11. So it was right around in that period, like 10 or 11 years old. And shows used to come to Atlanta, and that was one of the shows that I went to. I wasn't part of the show. I wasn't part of Diana Ross' production or anything. She called kids on the stage, and all the kids that was in the audience got an opportunity to go up on the stage, and I happened to be one of the kids that was going up on the stage. But right before she did this, my mother went to the bathroom, and my mother told me not to move from my seat while she was going to the bathroom. And my mother, was gonna kill me if I moved from my seat. So I didn't move. So when she called the girls, when Diana Ross said, I want all the kids to come on the stage with me, I was like, I'm not going up there because my mom told me.
Being an obedient son, of course. Yeah.
Don't move, right? So people in the audience that I didn't know, they was like, go up there, little boy, go up there. We gonna tell your mom it's cool when you go up there. I'm like, nah, you don't know my mom. You're not gonna tell my mom nothing, right? So I was still trying to like avoid going on the stage. After so many people tried to get me to go, I finally went. So I ended up going on the stage after all the kids was up there, which at that point put a spotlight on me to make it seem like I thought I was special, right? And that's how it was perceived. Like, oh, you think you special, you gonna come up here after everybody. And Diana Ross actually said that, like, she said something to that extent, like, oh, what you special, you come on the stage after everybody else, you need your own introduction. And I was only like 11, 12. And as I was walking out of the concert, people was talking to me like, oh, you the little boy that went on the stage. I mean, because once I got on the stage, I did dance. I started dancing. So, that was a piece. But the part about it was that Diana Ross actually was talking to me and she was putting that spotlight on me. So I feel like sometimes that moment subconsciously made me want more of that.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced?
My biggest challenge is being young. And I think that's why when Brandon them asked me how I want to be remembered, I want to be remembered as the guy who actually fought for the youth, because I had to fight. I was told I was too young. I was told that I didn't know what I was doing because I was young. I was told I had to have somebody help me because I was too young. To be a millionaire and be 19 and people still not listen to you and people still believe that you lucked up is like, I think that's probably like what having some illness or disease that you can't get rid of probably feels like. And you walking around and you have to walk around like this, and it's really nothing you can do, because I'm saying I'm 19, there's nothing I can do at this point besides, I think that's why so many young artists today try to act like they so old, because they probably have felt some of that energy and they trying to avoid like actually going through the fire of that. And I actually went through the fire of it. Like, yeah, I know I'm young. I want to be young. I want to be 19. I don't actually want to be 21. I want to be the youngest person doing this. I want that title, right? So that's my biggest hurdle, is just like trying to convince people that I knew what I was talking about at a younger age.
Yeah. And with that, right, wanting to convince, the masses, how important was it for you to show versatility, right? I mean, you went from Crisscross to Escape to Brat, right, to Mariah, to Usher. I mean, it was everyone that you was working with, right? So how important was that for you to show your versatility?
The versatility part came from me wanting to be, like I said, Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley was doing Cool Mo D to Guy to Big Daddy Kane to Keith Sweat to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of that, I was just trying to pattern after him. I mean, you know, like I said, I really wanted to be Teddy Riley and what he was, the way he was doing it. And he seemed like he was a guy that was, like I said, he was unstoppable because he was everywhere. His hands was everywhere. And I felt like, if I'm gonna do this, that's what I want to be. I want to be in a spot. So it was the most important thing for my label to start with an R&B group, because Chris Cross had come before that, so that I can set that tone, so that people would prepare themselves to know that Jermaine Dupri is not just a rap producer. He also makes R&B music. And once Escape hit, then people could say Jermaine Dupri is not just a hip hop producer or R&B producer. He's both, right? And you know, and I've been trying to continue that in different genres. I did a country record recently. That's damn. I just thought about that. That's another record I did. These things asking me about. And I did for the first time in 2021, I think, I did the Clock Sisters. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, so I tried to add a gospel to my, you know, to my resume. Right. So yeah, I forgot about these records. He just asked me that upstairs.
Yeah. What is the advice you give to an artist right now, an up-and-coming artist?
You can't recreate the wheel. You can do things that somebody before you can do more things that somebody else before you did, a little bit more, but you can't recreate if they created it, right? So the artist mentor, the artist producer, the manager artist thing, it's already set in stone, you know? And these positions are different, and to have somebody watch you and watch your career and help you, and then respect that person and be able to listen to them. You know what I mean? Find somebody that can visually add to the plays that you have. That's what I would tell any artist, because those that don't have that are not as successful as the ones that have it.
Yeah, and you know, you hear this all the time, right? With creative, sometimes you get creative block, right? Or as a writer, you get writer's block. You know, how much of it is, like when you're working with like the Ari Lennox of the world, right? Division, you know, go back to Mariah Carey, Usher. How much of it is just honing in on the skills you developed over the years, right? And really just making something out of nothing?
How much of what part of it you mean?
I'm saying, like, you know, just over the years, right? With repetition, you just start to hone in on these skills and develop these skills, right? Because, you know, the record that you do with Mariah isn't gonna be anything like you would do with like a country artist, right? So, but you're not gonna limit yourself, you know, from working with those people, right? So when you're in the moment, how much of it is really just being creative and just making something out of nothing?
It's a combination of all of that, because people come to me asking for, give me one of them Usher songs, give me one of them Usher songs that y'all ain't used for Confessions, or whatever it is, right? So it's like, once I decide what I feel like that artist should have, it's a combination of things that I pull from over the years and just ideas and stuff that I've, you know, and things that I believe work. I have a certain, I mean, I do make music. I make music like a cake, though. I feel like every cake that's made, I don't care who the chef is, the cake ingredients to make a cake, period, are the same. You know? Yeah. Probably 6 or 7 things that go into making a cake that every chef has, they all use. It's just whatever the cake turns out to be afterwards, whatever they put on the top, that's different. But to actually make the cake, it's the same formula, right? So a lot of times when I make records, I try to like remember the formulas that I've used to get to a lot of these records and try to see if I'm leaving out anything. And a lot of times it's proven that if I leave something out, it don't be as big as the other record. Yeah.
So my question now too is, what's on your plate right now, right? Like I know I had learned that you're a vegan, right? You've been a vegan for close to like 20 years now.
It'll be 20 years next year.
Yeah. So and you have like a business venture, you know, in
Yeah. I got JD's vegan ice cream.
Okay. Yeah. Talk more. Do you have, you know, like again, like what's on your plate at the moment?
Well, I mean, JD's vegan ice cream. We it's the #1 frozen ice cream at Walmart. I have an exclusive deal at Walmart, basically, and we actually ran out of ice cream this recently, and which is crazy because when I went to Walmart to create the deal, I already had made ice cream. It wasn't a deal that I made for Walmart. I had already made ice cream and didn't know who was going to distribute the ice cream. So we had ice cream made, and we went to Walmart. They wanted to do the deal, so then we just tried to like fulfill the orders that they was asking for. But as it was selling, they started asking for more and more ice cream, and then they put us in the stores. And then I think we got into like 700 stores, and we started blowing out. You know what I mean? Like last month or 2 months ago, I had a meeting in Bentonville, Arkansas at Walmart, and they was telling me that like JD's Vegan was selling 100 pints a week here in Atlanta, and they said they hadn't ever seen an ice cream sell that many pints a week. So 100 pints a week based on the ice cream that we had already made. We didn't have enough ice cream to keep up with what's actually going on. So now I'm in the process of making almost 2.5 million pints of ice cream so that Walmart will have enough in the storage in the back so that if it continues to sell at that rate, they can keep putting them on the shelf. Especially in Atlanta. Atlanta alone, Atlanta selling 100 pints of ice cream a week is pretty crazy. Yeah. So with that being said, the guys asked me what my future was. That's why I said billion, because I feel like I know for sure JD's Vegan Ice Cream will be $1 billion company in like the next 2 years alone, just based on what I already seen. And I'm not going. It won't just be at Walmart. By the end of the year, it'll be in every grocery store across America. So at that point, I'm gonna have JD's Vegan Ice Cream, JD's Vegan. Everything. I'm gonna do JD's Vegan, whatever I feel like should be a part of that brand. So that's a big business for me, because it's also a thing that I feel like for Black and people of color to be able to educate people on how they should eat and how they should take care of themselves and health is something that needs to be heard right now.
Absolutely. Be on the lookout for it.
For sure.
JD's Vegan Ice Cream.
All right.
My man. Appreciate you.
No doubt.